Welcome or welcome back. My name is Chastity and I'm an intuitive life coach and Reiki master. Let's talk time management today. Yes, I have a master's in organizational leadership, and I had the opportunity to apply the concepts and the knowledge I'd learned throughout my career, but I don't think that that's what qualifies me to talk about time management. You know how kids are refreshingly honest. So I'm going to say that what qualifies me to talk about effective time management is the fact that my kids perceive me as being someone who's very good at managing time, and that my daughter more specifically calls me, and I'm sorry for the language, but she calls me that GetShitDone-A-Nator. I really feel it should be an official title. So I'm going to share with you a few perspectives for you to keep in mind as you learn to manage your time. Because any single time someone tells me, I don't have time for, and it's something that's supposedly important in their life that follows that statement, all I can immediately think of is, what are you making time for? Trust me when I tell you that I can challenge this belief of you're not having enough time for the things that are important in your life. Let's talk time. The first thing I would encourage you to do if you're looking to better maximize your time is to look at your schedule based on the fact that you have 7 days a week to work with, not 5. Most people, for whatever reason, tend to say, I don't have enough time because they're only looking at their work days as time available in their life. Maybe it's because some people look at self-care or exercise and things like that as being work. So they only associate it to things that they can do on the same days that they actually work for a living or however they make their money. But take a step back and look at your schedule and your available time as being across 7 days, not 5. Once you're able to do that, you will have a better understanding that maybe there's some days of your work days that you really cannot fit time in for exercise and things like that. But if you look at the 7 days, maybe you can work out, assuming you work Monday through Friday, you could potentially exercise like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Now, according to the American Heart Association, adults are recommended to exercise about 150 minutes per week. It's not a lot of moderate intensity aerobic activity. Now, if you do more rigorous activity, it's only 75 minutes per week. Most people on average spend more time either watching television or on their phones, scrolling through reels and stuff like that. So again, if you don't think you have the time, I'd love to have a session with you and speak time management. Look at your calendar from having 7 days. You have 7 days to accomplish everything you want to accomplish in any given week. It's not just 5. I would also encourage you to combine activities whenever possible to really maximize your time. Here are a few examples. If you have kids like I do, you're probably always looking for opportunities to bond with them and spend more time with them. So if you have some time set aside to exercise and you want to bond with your children and spend more time with them, they also need physical activity because they don't get enough of that in school either. Then you can maybe go out to a park together, or maybe you can play something indoors and actually elevate your heart rate and have a good time in the process, right? So you can combine activities so that you're not doing something that's important to you, but you're doing a lot of it at once. Same thing with cooking. If you need to cook, then you can invite your children to be part of the cooking experience and cook with you. You have time to talk to them and to bond with them. If you're scheduling time for self-care, maybe you want to ask a parent to join you. So you spend time with them, also getting to know what's new in their life, allowing them to be part of yours, and in providing that exchange, which is so important in any type of relationship, and at the same time, taking care of yourself and meeting those self-care needs. I would also encourage you to add some playtime into your schedule. It reminds me of the line from The Shining where they say that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. After so many hours of working, your work will actually decrease in quality and quantity. What you could have potentially have done in 1 hour will take you 3 hours to do, and maybe the quality won't even be there. You need adequate time to refresh and refuel to actually be more productive. It is important for you to value your time and see it as currency, because it is. If you don't value your time, no one else will. I remember years ago being in a job where I was asked by my manager to take on somebody else's work on a continuous basis. It wasn't even temporary. Not because they were ill or had any health or medical conditions, but because I had proven that I could do my work more efficiently. I had extra time from their perspective to take on somebody else's workload. I respectfully declined. I don't think he was offering, I think he was saying, but I respectfully declined. I don't believe that somebody should get penalized for being efficient at their job. That's not how it should work. And so if you don't value and respect your time, no one else will. And to be able to treat and see your time as currency, as valuable, you need to have boundaries. If you're always available and accessible to people, both on a personal and or professional level, it's like devaluing your currency. Learn to honor and respect your time. When you add something to your schedule, ask yourself, why are you adding it? What reasons are you adding it for? What's the meaning behind it? It can be self-care, personal care, professional growth, whatever it needs to be for you. But pay attention to what you're adding to your calendar. Is it worth your time? Now, I'm the kind of person, I know personality is at play here as well, where if I'm invited to something on a personal level and I just don't want to go, I'll say no because I don't want to go. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I kind of have to look after the 3 cows that are sitting on my lawn. No, I'm not even giving an excuse like that. I'm just going to say, I don't want to go. But if I commit to going, then I show up, right? You're committing to the yes or the no, one way or the other. But before you commit to something or you decline an offer, please understand why you're doing that. Why are you adding it to your calendar, or why are you keeping it out of your calendar? Be mindful of why it is that you do what you do, because your time is valuable. It is a currency. And lastly, you guys have heard me talk about adaptability all the time, and it's because it's so important and quintessential to everything that we do. Avoid being too rigid with your schedule. You can be consistent without being inflexible. So consistent is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I am going to work on a report for work, and I'm going to do it for 1.5 hours from 3 to 4:30, as an example. That's consistency. But you need to have flexibility, because say that, and it happens, there's an impromptu meeting that gets scheduled right when you're supposed to start working on that report. Now you're bent over backwards because you can't work on it on the time it was on your schedule. And we know people who work like this, right? They're like, oh my God, I can't get to relax. Look at the rest of your week, and maybe it carved into 30 minutes of that scheduling time. Look for those 30 minutes elsewhere. Allow yourself to be adaptable and flexible. You can have consistency while still remaining flexible and adaptable to situations that come up. It's about meeting the same needs or desires that you may have for things that you want to include in your life and add to your schedule and to your calendar, but remaining open enough to understanding that life happens and that you just need to accommodate things as they come in. The truth is, your schedule is going to change in time. Life will require that you adjust, that you manage your time a little bit differently. But when it does, when it gives you these opportunities to adjust or readjust, these are wonderful, wonderful ways of recognizing that at the end of the day, whatever you make time for, whatever you make room for, whatever you focus on is what is going to give you a return on investment. So if you remember anything at all about this video, just remember that your time is an investment. And yes, I'm going to bring it back to energy. Where your focus goes, your energy goes. Where do you want your energy to go? Until next time, may love and light always guide you. Take care.